It was weird. I only saw it for 5 seconds, like I said, but like you said, it's only 5 seconds. But what happened before that? Who knows, right?
Yes, what happened the whole life before that? We tend to believe that we are the dominating species. This place they call the round planet. That's how the majority calls it. However, that is not actually true, and there are beings that take our energy, take our focus, but real warriors and real sorcerers, they can rise to the level of those beings, expel them from our system, and take the energy back. But I would like you to tell in your own words what happened, even though you wrote it. I would like you to tell it, because then I can feel. You saw how from a simple audio message I was able to read what is actually happening, and then my energy that I put into it managed to reverse the this part of our conversation. I edited out to protect the client from matrix retaliation. My goal is to expose the client in such a way that he takes the energy from matrix dominated internet but does not expose himself to the matrix attack. Of course, the conversation was done over an encrypted tunnel, and theoretically matrix system can break through all of this and find our data, but even if it does so, many spikes will wait for it on the other end. Every day when I shut my eyes, and even when I do not shut my eyes, I need to defeat the monsters that are actually sucking the energy of the humans, and to dominate over them. You fell into the sleep after you took the ingredients for the cleanse. Am I right? And
Yeah.
then basically the classic thing that happens is that because in your dream you are able to be more sensitive, and then in the dream you can, with your mind's eye, you can you can see the energy sucking matrix monster, but as soon as the monster realizes that you can see it, it will wake you up, and then it will also erase your memory. That's the usual way it happens, but please describe what exactly happened to you, because with the details I will be able to guide you better, to offer better advice.
So after I took the ingredients, uh, it was about 3 hours before I actually fell asleep. So in those 3 hours, there's not exactly pain, but discomfort. So it wasn't big pain, but it was discomfort around the stomach area. Um, and then it didn't feel very comfortable, but I managed to sleep after 3 hours. So around 3 or 4 hours. I don't know when I started to dream, but during the night, it's as I explained. So I saw just for 5 seconds some sort of like humanoid monster, uh, but I felt very stressed out. And then in those 5 seconds, that stress woke me up, and then that's when it all ended.
Yes, um, we tend to rationalize uh, when we actually see the truth. We tend to fool ourselves. So it is very good that that I knew that would happen. Because when we started working, when you and I started working, uh, um, um, I remember that I immediately saw the situation, but it is important that you realize the situation. You understand. You understand. It is important that you experience the situation, because you have no use of me seeing the situation if you are not helped. So we needed some time to get you into this mode where you can actually remember seeing the energy sucking higher being, and then once when you see it, it's game over. Then you become the hunter and it becomes the prey. You understand? You understand?
Hmm.
That is one of the reasons why I chose not to send you some of these ingredients of the Magami protocol, because I wanted you to go into action yourself. I guided you, but I wanted you to go into action at the animal place, at the pharmacy place, at the whatever place, because those are symbolic actions. You need to go there, you need to demonstrate you want something that is out of this world for them. You need to behave like nobody else. Those are all symbolic action points, you know. And we can simplify it. When you gather enough symbolic action points, then the creation will say, oh, look at this young warrior. He really gathered some points, you know. Let him see the monster, you know. Let's push the monster so the monster's mind erasing beam cannot function. You understand? You understand?
Hmm.
So even though I saw it immediately when we talked the first time, that is of no use to you. My job, my job is to bring you slowly on the level where you can see it. You know, you see how monster even managed to convince you that it is not significant to see the parasite that is dominating your reality from the invisible world. It hides in the invisible and then comes into the material through these horrible toxins that you just expelled, you know, that actually it can enter through the whole body, but the toxins are like highways for its enter, you know. It is very hard to enter through a clean body. And then it moves away. It comes in, it moves away. Even if you see it, it erases your mind. I deleted this part, the monster's hypnosis grip, and then you remember, you remember the humanoid monster that you actually saw during the. I deleted this part. If you expel 40 stones, and that means that I immediately knew how they will look. They will have some parts that can be traced back to the ingredients for the detox, but some parts, my friend, really can't. They look out of this world. Maybe if you could please describe to our future listeners and the future generations, now listen to me, future generations that will one day write history, how the early warriors have managed to win first victories over the matrix creations. So for the historians that will one day listen to this and write, can you please in stone, they will write in stone the history of what actually happened during the anti-matrix uprising. Can you please describe the unreal look and feel of the hideous toxins you managed to expel from your body?
So the stones were green in color. Immediately when I saw it, I knew it couldn't have come from the ingredients. When you took the stones open, they were blue inside, which is weird. It's almost like those dye that you use, like the dye colors,
Yes,
right?
it is almost
It's an
alien.
Yes, it's an unreal, like you say, an alien color. Like how could your ingredients? You can have the best chemist inside your stomach, and you still can't do it within, but what is it, like 8 hours between the time you sleep and when you wake up? There's no way that a scientist could do that in a laboratory. So how could this happen inside of you?
Yes, with very basic. What did you eat the day of the uh, this special detox? What did you eat? Please describe to the listeners and the future historians, so everybody understands that alien blue-green objects cannot be created out of the simple food in your stomach.
So I stopped eating at 2 p.m. All I ate before that was bread and broccoli. What else did I eat? Peppers and cucumbers. So just a bunch of vegetables.
Yes,
There's nothing
nothing
green in
alien.
color.
Nothing alien. You did not eat
Nope.
something
Yeah,
that falls from the sky or something like that.
exactly. And then just drink a lot of water, and that's about it.
Yes, yes, and then also you cleaned your system with hard to get. I deleted this part, which was impossible to forget, and that is the reason why you had so much trouble get. I deleted this part. You went here, you went there because the toxin was blocking, because it knew the alien object inside you knew that if you get all these ingredients and if you follow the Magami protocol, it will it will be kicked out. Those alien looking crystals that we expel, nobody taught you about that in biology class, I'm sure.
No.
Yes, so that is a big shock when people see what is inside them when they can see it physically, but when they also see with the mind's eye. And you must know that these alien looking blue-green crystals that you expelled are actually anchor points for this. What did you say? It was a humanoid form. What was the form of the alien being?
It was human. It was just a really tall, bald human, but the color of the flesh was yellow, just unnatural.
Did you
Wrapped.
did you manage to study its facial expression, or did you maybe manage to study its telepathic thoughts towards you, the controlling thoughts, or you did not go so far?
No, it just walked out of my dresser, and it had these bandages wrapped around his head, all over his body, so I couldn't see the expression. But I don't know if it was walking towards me. It was just walking, maybe a little bit past me, and that's when I looked at his face, and then I woke up.
When you will be fighting more, now this was your first time to have a conscious encounter with an invisible demon, but usually you will first in the beginning we hate them, in the beginning you just when you become a new warrior, then you say I deleted this part, but then after I deleted this part, you realize that they are actually slaves of the machine, and they have this bitter destiny, that they hate their destiny much more than they hate you. So later we just I deleted this part without this rage. because I do not know, have you gotten that far in those 5 seconds, but if it was 5 minutes for you to absorb the being, you would have seen the misery of its existence. You did not take it so far, I guess.
Well, I didn't hate it. I didn't feel hatred when I saw it, but it was, like I said, it was wrapped up, so it looks like someone put chains on it. So the monster itself was a slave.
Oh, that's you. It's very good that on your first sighting you managed to sense that. That means you're a real advanced warrior, with big potential. Because usually I needed some time, I couldn't on my first sighting. I deleted this part, destroy you all. But then I needed some time to understand that they are actually the slaves of the Matrix machine. But you managed to see it that's the devil's. That's why they called it the devil's structure, where everybody loses. Everybody loses in that structure, and that is why the human forms, the human organizations that copy this demonic structure, also everybody loses in them. The secret. I deleted this part. Is the militaries, the educational systems, everybody's unhappy there. I deleted this part. Is not in a happy position, it is a slave of some other more powerful being, but you did not yet see that being. You understand it may be a dragon, or a big spider, or a big I deleted this part.
Yeah,
Yeah, you saw that. And you know why is that so?
yeah.
That is put by the matrix system in the movies and in entertainment for one purpose only, so people would think it's just entertainment, it cannot happen. I deleted this part. If you go to your friends and try to explain what we are talking today, they will think you're a basket case, that you are like the most nutty person they know. You understand? That is why
Hmm.
this is what we are talking about now. That is why, on purpose, all these things that we are talking about now have already been ridiculed in the media, in the news, in the movies, in the computer games. They have been ridiculed. So when there is some warrior who can see, it will be very hard for people to take him seriously. I deleted this part, and let me just throw wrenches into the matrix system. My comment on your message was a wrench throwing. It was expert wrench throwing that confuses the machine, that blocks the machine, and suddenly you remember the monster, because I deleted this part. takes what he has, and he has the abundance of nothing works on Balkan's energy, and he can just shoot wrenches at the I can just shoot many wrenches at the matrix system and laugh at. I deleted this part. Dear future historians of the victory against the matrix, and one day maybe the historians will write, can you imagine that our ancestors were actually under matrix hypnosis that was delivered by these toxins and by these humanoids, funny humanoids? But now we will stop recording because we are playing a trick on the matrix, and we never release all our information into the open.